Introduction to the Parthian Empire. In 1 BC, the Parthian Empire, which stretched from modern-day Iran to parts of Iraq and beyond, was a significant power in the east, frequently clashing with the Roman Empire over control of territories in the Near East. By 1 BC, the Parthian Empire was facing internal strife that would soon spill over into renewed conflict with Rome. The Parthians practiced a unique form of monarchy, where succession disputes often arose between royal family members, leading to instability. This struggle for power in 1 BC led to military confrontations and diplomatic tensions with Rome. The political structure of the Parthian Empire. The Parthian political system was distinct from Rome's. It was a feudal monarchy, with the king ruling over a collection of semi-independent aristocrats. While this decentralized system gave the Parthian Empire flexibility, it also meant that the central authority of the king was often challenged. The ruling Arsacid dynasty had a system of succession that was less rigid than Roman imperial inheritance, frequently leading to conflicts between rival claimants to the throne. By 1 BC, King Phraates IV was on the throne, but his reign was fraught with internal dissent. His attempts to maintain power led him to make political deals and alliances, many of which would ultimately destabilize the empire. The dispute over succession. The rival claimants. In 1 BC, the dispute over the Parthian throne intensified due to a combination of internal rebellion and external pressures. Phraates IV, who had come to power after deposing his predecessor, was a controversial figure. His methods of consolidating power, including the murder of potential rivals, alienated many nobles. Dissatisfaction with his rule culminated in rebellion within the royal family itself. One of the key figures in this succession crisis was Tiridates II, a rival claimant who had the backing of certain Parthian nobles. Tiridates II sought support from Rome, creating an opportunity for Rome to intervene in Parthian affairs. Roman-Parthian relations leading to 1 BC. Rome and Parthia had a long history of conflict, primarily focused on control over Armenia and other border regions. Armenia, strategically located between the two empires, was often a pawn in the power struggles between Rome and Parthia. By the time of the succession dispute in 1 BC, both empires had been embroiled in decades of diplomatic and military contests over the region. In previous years, Rome and Parthia had engaged in battles like the infamous defeat of Crassus at the Battle of Carrhae, 53 BC, and the campaigns of Mark Antony. Despite these confrontations, the two empires maintained a tense but pragmatic relationship, with occasional diplomatic overtures. Rome's interest in Parthian succession. Rome's involvement in the Parthian succession dispute was primarily driven by its strategic interest in maintaining control over Armenia and ensuring a compliant ruler on the Parthian throne. Augustus, who was now Emperor of Rome, was keenly aware of the importance of Parthia in maintaining Roman influence in the east. While Augustus preferred diplomacy over direct military intervention, the situation in Parthia in 1 BC presented an opportunity for Rome to expand its influence. Augustus' diplomatic efforts focused on supporting Tiridates II, who promised to be more favorable to Roman interests than Phraates IV. This marked a significant moment in Roman-Parthian relations, as Rome sought to install a ruler who would serve as a client king, balancing the power in the region in Rome's favor. The conflict escalates. Parthian civil war and Roman involvement. The succession crisis in Parthia quickly escalated into a civil war between the supporters of Phraates IV and Tiridates II. As Parthian nobles took sides, Rome saw an opportunity to exploit the chaos. Roman forces were sent to assist Tiridates II, with the hope of installing him as the king of Parthia. However, Phraates IV proved to be a formidable opponent. He sought to quell the rebellion with his own forces and managed to maintain his hold on power, albeit tenuously. The involvement of Rome in Parthian internal affairs further complicated the situation, as it threatened to spark a broader war between the two empires. Diplomatic maneuvering. Augustus and Phraates IV. Despite the potential for conflict, Augustus preferred a diplomatic resolution to avoid a costly war with Parthia. Negotiations were opened between the two powers, with Augustus sending emissaries to Phraates IV in an attempt to reach a settlement. Phraates IV, recognizing the threat posed by Roman military power and the ongoing civil war within his own empire, agreed to a diplomatic compromise. In a significant diplomatic move, Phraates IV sent his sons to Rome as hostages, a gesture intended to secure peace and demonstrate his willingness to cooperate with Roman interests. This act also served to secure his position as king, as it removed potential rivals from Parthia and placed them under Roman control. The aftermath. Long-term consequences for Rome and Parthia. The succession dispute of 1 BC ultimately did not result in a full-scale war between Rome and Parthia, but it had long-term consequences for both empires. Phraates IV's decision to send his sons to Rome created a precarious balance of power between the two empires, with Rome holding significant influence over Parthian internal affairs. For Augustus, the outcome was a diplomatic victory, as he managed to secure peace with Parthia without engaging in a costly military campaign. The agreement allowed Rome to maintain its influence over Armenia and the broader region, while Phraates IV retained his throne. The events of 1 BC set the stage for future Roman-Parthian interactions, with both empires continuing to vie for control over Armenia and other contested territories in the years to come. The delicate balance of power between Rome and Parthia would persist until the eventual fall of the Parthian Empire centuries later.